afternoon to all the distinguished dignitaries. It is my pleasure to speak on ETSatcom India Satcom Symposium. I represent NewSpace India Limited, NSIL, a Government of India company under Department of Space, and the commercial arm of Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. In fact, we were incorporated during March 2019 to primarily promote increased industrialization of space activities in India by moving operational space activities undertaken by ISRO to Indian industries. NSIL is into end-to-end commercial space business, be it satellite owning, operating, and providing services, or be it building operational launch vehicles of ISRO, or be it building satellites for users, or be it providing services like launch services, mission support services to our customers. If one looks at the achievements the Indian space sector has made over past 5 decades, it has been really phenomenal in the context of the space ecosystem that exists in India. All the vital elements of space involving launch vehicles, satellites, ground segments, and application programs, which have been designed, developed, and realized through homegrown technologies within the country. Thereby, it has made India self-reliant in many of the space-related activities. Now, with the recent opening up of the space sector by Government of India, the announcement which was made during June 2020, it has been the opportune time for all of us to move towards commercialization of space activities through enhanced participation of private Indian industry players. Now, in the context of this conference, wherein the prime focus is going to be on the communication satellite services related aspects, I'm happy to say that today, India has the largest domestic communication satellite system in the world, an operational inside GSAT system that has enabled expansion of broadcasting and connectivity services in the country. Today, if you look at it, the NewSpace India Limited owns and operates nearly 11 communication satellites in orbit that are meeting the communication needs of our country. In addition, we also have 3 high-throughput satellites which are owned by ISRO. However, the services are being commercially offered by NewSpace India Limited to the Indian users is also doing quite well. Now, in our effort to further meet the domestic communication needs, NSIL built and launched GSAT-24 communication satellite with 24 Ku-band transponders during 2022. In fact, this mission was fully funded by NSIL as part of the mandate that was given to NSIL to be a demand-driven mission. And the capacity on board the satellite has been long leased to Messrs. Tata Play for using their DTH services. So on similar lines, NSIL also is coming up during the coming months, launch of GSAT-20, which is also called at GSAT-N2, which is a high throughput communication satellite for meeting the broadband communication needs of the country. It basically has a footprint over Indian mainland and neighboring islands. And GSAT-20 is a KK band satellite with a throughput of around 48 Gbps. I'm very sure the services that will be rendered by GSAT-20 or GSAT-N2 is going to bring in a new revolution in the country in terms of having the broadband connectivity to the inaccessible areas of our country. Now, if you look at the global space projections made by various consulting firms in recent times, I think most of you may be aware, the global space industry stands at $400 billion, of which nearly 270 to 300 billion US dollars correspond to global satellite industry. Now, very interestingly, the communication satellite services and the ground segment elements account for bulk of the market share. I would say it together aggregates to something like 90%, where each of this element of communication services and the ground segment share nearly 45%. So of this 270 to 300 billion US dollars satellite industry market, the communication services is approximately 125 billion US dollar, and it includes broadcast services like TV, DTH, DSNG, which takes nearly 90% of the share of this satellite services market. I would say this projections clearly brings out the fact that the communication satellite service segment is a commercially lucrative market to venture into. And if you look at in the context of India, today the domestic communication satellite market demand is primarily being met through GEO satellites, which are operating C, KU, and K band. and the broadband connectivity requirements to an extent is also being met through indigenous high throughput satellite capacity. So in the broadband service market, I would say the future emerging trend is towards LEO broadband. I think all of you would have heard the LEO constellation for broadband services, where some of the key constellation players are OneWeb, Starlink, QPR, Telesat, and many more are in the offing. So these constellations are definitely going to add newer dimension, and I would say newer competitiveness, or maybe the the competitiveness in the providing the services itself is going to be a big challenge for the other service providers which are already existing in the market globally. So with all these emerging scenarios existing, considerable growth in the Indian space related activities is envisaged, and we are looking at in the future, in the next maybe 8 to 10 years, the present market share of Indian space activity in the global scenario is going to substantially rise from the level that we are presently in. So I think with this, I would like to just conclude my talk. Would like to sincerely thank ETSatcom for giving me the opportunity to share my views on the Satcom services segment during this event today. Wishing all the best for the dignitaries participating in this conference, and wish the Satcom Symposium a great success. Thank you very much.